Hi, I'm Sheila L. Haidt, world-class astrologer, tarot master, spellcaster, medium, and all-around magical being. And I'm here today to talk to you about this week's astrology. Fortunately, this week, we're not inundated with lots of Aries energy. Sometimes too much can be too much of a good thing. And this coming week, though, we're being entertained by two major planetary shifts. One more short-term than the other, but both pretty similar. So let's get started. On Monday, we have Mercury together, we call it conjunct Saturn, and Mercury conjunct Mars. So Mercury is the planet of how we gather and process information, how we communicate. And Saturn is the planet of structure, delays, time. Mercury also is conjunct or together with Mars, so therefore Mars is the planet of how we take action, how we get things done. And so when you have Mercury together with Saturn, you might have fast-moving Mercury, but Saturn is more slow and methodical. You have fast-moving Mercury and fast-moving Mars, and they sometimes are not moving well together. So here's what I see for this week. Facts can be or can appear to be more important than feelings. So be careful how you feel, and be careful and not let your feelings guide your actions. Before signing any documents or making binding agreements, check everything. Cross T's, dot I's, check everything. And please, 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 especially with Mercury conjunct Mars, don't let your mouth write a check that your ass can't cover. If you talk smack, life will call you out. It's better to say nothing and let the moment pass. Thursday, the planet Venus is together or conjunct the planet Uranus. Venus rules value, especially self-value, relationships. It rules women. It rules balance and harmony, diplomacy. It rules gifts, jewelry, purses. It rules the luxuries of life. And so we have Venus doing two things. One, it will be conjunct together with Uranus, the planet of unpredictable, unexpected, wow, did that just happen? And Uranus is a very radical planet. It goes its own way, and we never know, astrologers we never know what it's going to do. So you've got the planet of value, self-value, of relationships, of money, of healing, together with the planet of we have no idea what's going to happen next. So what and who you value can unexpectedly shift. You may feel a strong need to be free of your current commitments. Please, please, please do not do anything rash. The attraction you feel today could very well be gone tomorrow. Be careful not to make big purchases or sign contracts today, because things may not be what they seem, and people and circumstances can change rapidly. Now with Venus, we're still dealing with Venus, but now the planet Venus is going to leave the sign Taurus, the sign it rules. It's going to move into the sign Gemini. So remember, you've got value, self-value, relationships, diplomacy, balance. Gemini is about communication. Gemini is about connecting in a different way. Venus likes to connect with heart, with emotions, with feelings. Gemini likes to connect with mind, with facts, with information. So, with Venus in Gemini, love of gossip, love of socializing, love of just about any situation that involves interactions with people and information. Be very careful. Be careful not to get caught up with she said, he said. That kind of drama nobody wants. This is a great time, though, to meet new people. But please do not fall in love. This is not a great time for falling in love, because the energy of this Venus placement, the energy of Venus in Gemini, tends to attract shallowness rather than depth. It's a great time for writing. It's a great time for going to social gatherings. But remember, keep it light. Saturday, the biggest energy shifts of all are happening. We start out with the sun, the life force, the I amness of it all. The sun is together, not together rather, but square, creating a frictional, sometimes divisive energy aspect. Pluto, the planet of transformation, the planet of control, the planet of deep, deep knowing, the planet of the end of things. Pluto, Sun square Pluto. So beware of ego drama, stubbornness, vindictiveness, manipulations, and controls. Control, control, control. The sun wants to control, and Pluto definitely wants to control. And they are now fighting for control. So don't get caught up in it. Better to let it go. This is not the day to give anyone a piece of your mind. Let it go. The next thing that happens on Saturday is a phenomenon that we've been waiting for at least 6 or 7 years. The planet Uranus, the planet of unpredictable, uncontrollable, unexpected, who knows what's going to happen next, the planet of being radical, of the revolutionary, of freedom, the planet of associations of like-minded beings, the planet of genius and divine insight. Uranus will be leaving the earth sign, the solid, steady earth sign of Taurus, where it's been for several years. It's not comfortable in solid, steady earth signs because Uranus is air and it's lightning. And it's going to enter the sign of Gemini, where it will be way more comfortable and where it will have the room and the ability to move the way it likes to move. So, for the next few years, the planet Uranus will be in the sign Gemini. Uranus is the revolutionary and the innovator. Gemini is the communicator who governs how we think, talk, speak, learn, and travel. Uranus is unpredictable. Uranus, remember this, Uranus is unpredictable. And it's unpredictable as it disrupts, liberates, and reinvents anything it touches. And it will touch everything in its 6 or 7 year transit through the sign Gemini. New radical thought and speech will become the norm, as well as how we define truth. Uranus is divine insight. Uranus is also innovation, and Uranus is genius. It's also insanity. It's a lot. And insanity is not always insane. Insanity is often something we just don't recognize the necessity for, but we do further on down the track. A lot of people didn't recognize the necessity or the convenience that a phone would bring. And here we are. So remember that this is a time for thinking and thinking things through, not letting the emotions of the moment take charge of how you deal with your life and how life deals with you. This is a time with Uranus. It is a time of revolution, of change, necessary change. And in Gemini, it is a time of coming together with the like-minded members of your environment. So, on that note, I will say goodbye for now. I am only one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something, and I will not let what I cannot do interfere with what I can do. Bye.